Welcome back to Stooge Stream. I am your host, the Stooge. This is video game pickups. It's been a while, I know. I've been out of action due to my recent knee surgeries, but I'm back and I've got a whole lot of stuff. Just to let you know, my actual normal table is stacked full of stuff at the moment, so I'm doing this handheld. Let me apologize in advance. I've got a little bit of arthritis in my hand, so it might be a little bit shaky. Anyway, let's start. I'm just going to reach back here. So first up, I paid about $2 to $2.50 a piece for these. This is all in Australian dollars, so if you're from the US, knock off about 35%. If you're in the UK, knock off about 45 to 50%. If you're in Canada, it's about the same. Anywhere else in the world, you're going to have to work out the conversion yourself. So let's start with Paradise Die. It is a Japanese version, but it doesn't matter. It's a Game Boy game, and it is a shooter. Puzzled Upon Pokemon Edition. Little cute puzzle game. It's actually quite a fun puzzle game if you haven't played it. And again, paid about $2 for it. $2.50. Tom and Jerry. Game Boy Gallery 4. So these were the Game & Watch collections. And I've got most of them. This is just one I was missing. And finally, Little Mermaid. Nice little stack of Game Boy games. I was pretty happy with that. So, EB Games was having a sale. It was buy one, get two free on pre-owned games. So I bought a few PS3 games just to fill in a couple of holes or things that I just didn't have, or things that maybe I had on 360 and eventually traded off because I'm just not a 360 collector. I'm a PS3 collector. And first was Genji. Haven't played it yet. Brutal Legends, which I have played on 360 before it red ringed for the third time. And I have bought one subsequently, but I tend to only buy exclusives for it. Dante's Inferno. I haven't actually played that yet. Heavenly Sword, which I have played before. I don't know why I didn't have a copy of it or what happened to mine. FIFA Street 3. And Inversion. So that whole stack was $36. So that worked out to, what, $6 a game? $7 a game? Not too bad, just to fill in some holes and some decent titles there. I'll replay Brutal Legends. I've still got to play Dante's Inferno and Genji. And I'll more than get my $36 worth out of that stack. Another game I won on auction on eBay. Ended up getting it for, I think, $5, $6. This is actually an arcade game that was ported to the PS1. I don't know if it came out of Japan, but I'm happy to get it. It's one-on-one basketball. It's actually a really, really fun game. If you are an importer or you like arcade games or sports games, this is actually really good. With that, I also got this because why not? And it ended up only costing me again $5 or $6 because they were bundled together with shipping. And that was Ultraman Fighting Evolution Rebirth. So if you played Ultraman on Super Nintendo, you know what a terrible fighting game it is. And basically, this is that game fixed. It looks much better, it plays much better. Ultraman Fighting Evolution Rebirth. And for some reason, everyone, including me, had Ultraman on Super Nintendo. Finally, got some PS4 games. Nice little stack. Not too many, but pretty happy with what I got. So for starters, JB Hi-Fi. They pull out a 2 for $40 every now and then. Notice there was only one copy each of these games. And I know they're very much not common over here in Australia. They might be common where you're from, but over here they're not common. And I'm going to probably butcher this. Nobunaga's Ambition Sphere of Influence Ascension. The 240. Started playing that last night. It's actually quite interesting. It's kind of plays a little bit like Civilization, but much heavier management and influence and all this other stuff that you need to do. It's Civilization, but with a lot more to it, if that makes sense. Blade Storm Nightmare was the other one. Haven't tried this yet. I will get to it. Another weird little game that I got that is actually fantastic. I had to import this from the UK. I would so do that if I was you as well. And that's Heart&Slash. So it's a procedurally generated platform action roguelike. There we go. Really fun game. If you like procedurally generated roguelike games, this is a really good one. And because it's a hack and slash action game, but also has, sometimes you find guns, it's just a great mix of gameplay to it. Another one I haven't tried yet, but again, is not very common over here. It may be common where you're from, where I am. Over here in Australia, it's just not common. You don't see it around much. I picked it up straight away. Avon Colony. So this looks like Civilization in space, pretty much. By Team 17, if anyone knows them. They used to make a lot of PC games. So this looks fun. If you see it around, I'd suggest picking it up. It is a $50 game, but again, it's not that common. You're not going to see it too often. Definitely worth grabbing. And my wife went and picked this up for me on launch because my knee was still really bad at the time. I finished 2 and 3, and 1 is a complete bastard, and you probably know what I'm talking about. It's the Crash Bandicoot N. Sane Trilogy. What a pain in the ass this game is. The first one is, anyway. The second and third one, piss easy. But the first one, I don't know. Just too fast or something. I will get it. I'll get it. I'm going to crack it. That's it. That's everything I've picked up recently, or, well, since the last episode anyway. Let me know what you've been picking up. Comment below. Let me know if I should be keeping my eyes out on anything. If there's any more release, I should say, store release PS4 games that are quite limited over here, let me know. I always like to get my hands on them. There's always some fun in those. Until next time, thank you so much for watching. I've been your host, the Stooge, and don't forget, adventure, excitement. Stooge craves not these things. Welcome to the Stooge Revolution.